All right, in this video, I want to show how to create a circle class in processing or in Java using the processing library. I really want to be able to do something like this where I have a circle on the screen that can maybe like I'm making it so it increase size, but really I want something that I can move around the screen the same way we had in Java Draw and just like something you might want to have in your game. It takes a little bit of work here because this isn't as easy as Java Draw because in Java Draw we had the circle class and we could we had the oval class, we could make ovals from this and then we can move them around. Right now it's little bit trickier in processing because you only have the ellipse function and the ellipse is just going to draw, it's not making an object, it's just a function that draws an ellipse on the screen. So how do I get that thing to move around the screen? How could I have like multiple of these on the screen at a time? And that's really where a class might come in, where we can like kind of put some of this stuff together into a single class that we can then make objects from. So I'm going to go through and show you how to make the circle class, and then I think you can expand on this to make some of your own classes. So let's go into here. We're going to start with our processing window here. I already made. Oh, that's the wrong window. This one where I already have it created. Let's go into here. We're going to make a new file. We're going to hit circle.java. It's going to be very similar to making files anywhere else. We do want to make sure we're importing our processing port processing.core star. Let's just get access to all those things. There's going to be a couple things I see inside of this. You're welcome to skip ahead here as I set up some of my variables. I'm going to have like a radius. I'm going to have a location. I'm going to have an like loc x. I'm going to private loc y. If I was better about this, I'd probably like cut some of the stuff out, but r. Okay, so we need to make sure that we take in like an int r. I'm going to take in an int loc like lx and int l y. I'm also going to take in something a little bit weird. I'm going to take in p applet p, and I'm also going to have to take, and I'm also going to have to make a private variable for private p applet. Let's call this parent. And basically what we're going to do here, like the goal of this p applet thing is when we create the circle in our app class, we are going to pass in like the kind of canvas that we're working with. This is what we're calling the p applet. So we're going to like pass in our canvas so we know that we're all kind of talking and like painting and drawing all in the same space. And we have kind of all access to the same core file. So we really need to have this p applet here. And then we're just going to set up, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like in just a second. Say low fly. It's a good time to skip ahead. Stuff, correct that, stuff like that. Okay. Let's see. All right, so now we could go on the other side of this and maybe we could make our first, let's see, public void draw. Actually, let's do this in like setup. We're going to just create a circle. Actually, I really want to create a circle up here. It's going to be global variable circle C. I'm going to say circle C because I want to show you how you actually set up a new circle. So C is going to be a new circle, and we need to pass in the values, the radius, the LX. Let's say this is like 50 location. Let's just do 50, 50, 50. Actually, I want to I'll make it 150. And then the last thing is we have to pass in the P parent. You will have to do the same thing every single time. So this is going to be a little bit weird, but you just have to do the same thing every single time. We're just going to pass in this, which means we are passing in like this current object. Like we are giving access to this file to Circle. So Circle has access to this file, and it can do any of the thing that this file can do. Kind of. I mean, it's not a great explanation, but it's giving access to this thing. Okay, so now we go into here. Added it somehow. Well, that should be a semicolon, of course. All right, now, okay, so now if we create this circle right now, if we run this, I don't know if we need a public void settings. I don't think we really need that. I think it just gives a default one, I hope. Yeah, all right, so we got a little default window in there. Maybe we'll make it a little bit bigger here. Pop this open for a second. All right, so we now have a circle. Sorry, change locations, teleport around. So we now have all this stuff set up. We should have this. We can create a circle, but of course, like nothing's actually happening here because, great, we create a circle. We're not actually displaying anything. So we actually have to go through here and make a method that's going to display our work. So we're going to make something. We can call it whatever we want. I'm going to call it display. And this is where we're actually going to draw our ellipse. Oh, and we need to, in order to access ellipse, we need to go into the parent. Like you need to go into like the app thing, kind of, and we need to access the ellipse function. And in here, we're going to location. Oh, I can't remember what the order of this is. I think, let's see, I got this. I'm not as comfortable with processing as I am with other languages. Other Java draw, let's see if this works. This should be about right. Maybe I'll have to mess with these values a little bit. But now I can come back into the app, and inside of public void draw, I can say c.display. When I run this, I have my circle appearing. So I think that's like 50-50. So I think I got the location correct. Let me see if I change this a little bit. What if I just make my location like, it's 150, 150. Oh, let's do 150, 150. Let's do it like that. Yeah, good. So we have that there. And there's a lot of other things that we can do in here. So we could also do something like move X. And what this is going to do is like, I should be able to adjust this thing by moving it by some number. So let's see if I do in here. I could just say loc x plus equals num. So it's going to, our loc x, which is going to determine where this thing gets drawn, is going to increase by whatever we pass in for number. So I could do something, let me pause this for a quick second. So in here, for example, if I do like, or I do like public void key pressed, let's say if that key code is left, then this thing should move its x by -5. So if we press left, now a lot of you probably know what's going wrong here. So I'm drawing new circles every single time. What I also need to do in here is I need to set a background. But let's just say, I guess it's 0. Well, it's good. Don't do that. Run this. I don't need to do anything for right. So, okay, so that's going to be it. So we can create a circle. We're kind of just encapsulating this ellipse function and we're putting it inside of a circle. And then like whenever we want to draw a circle, we're just calling this function. So kind of like we're using existing functions to make this new circle class. Hope that's helpful.